What is a donor-advised fund? My name is Andrew Ayers. I'm a lawyer with offices in Edina, Minnesota, and New York City. And today we're going to talk about a different vehicle you can consider to make your charitable contributions, and one that works well with your estate plan if that's what you're looking to do. So this topic came up in a discussion I had with some other lawyers about a week or two ago, and we were talking about different ways that our clients like to leave bequests and leave other charitable donations to charities and other nonprofit organizations. Now, one of the attorneys in the group really wasn't sure what to do with one of her clients who said they really wanted to leave something to a charity, but they weren't sure which charity to use. They weren't sure how to go about doing it. They weren't even sure what to put in their will. And so our discussion came down to what about looking at something that's called a donor-advised fund? And it may be the way to solve that answer for that client and maybe for you as well. So the first question you probably have is, what is a donor-advised fund? So a donor-advised fund is usually an account that you create that's owned and administered by a charity or a not-for-profit organization. And what happens is you make a charitable contribution to that fund, and then you can suggest to them what kind of charities you would like to use it for. So if, for example, you are very worried about civil rights, or if you're worried about abortion rights, or if you're worried about some other kind of rights, these donor-advised funds usually have a set of charities they work with, and you can donate the funds to the charity first, and then you can decide down the road how you'd like those funds used. So people often ask, what are the benefits of working with a donor-advised fund? Well, first of all, the biggest benefit is you get an immediate tax deduction for your donation. So let's say you make your donation on December 15th. You don't have to then choose what charity the money goes to before the end of the year to get your charitable donation deduction. In fact, you can wait years before you choose what charity is, but you get your deduction for that tax year. So this is a tactic that I will often see at the end of the year when people are trying to make sure they're getting their charitable deductions met for their tax returns. You can also do it as part of your estate plan. So if you're really not sure what you want to do yet, but you want to leave something for charity down the road, you can put a donor-advised fund in your estate plan, and then when you pass away, the money can be given to the donor-advised fund. You can either give them an idea of what type of charities you want to give to, or even specific charities. But this way, you're still given to charity, and there's somebody there to administer it after you're gone. Now, donor-advised funds aren't all 100% beneficial. There have been people who have raised a variety of concerns about them. So for example, you should know that a donor-advised fund is not legally required to spend the money they receive. They can actually hold on to it for a while. And they, in fact, have the final say in what happens to the money that they receive. Another drawback that people often realize is that a donor-advised fund will charge you fees for these donor accounts. It can either be a monetary fee, or it can be a percentage of the money that you have on deposit with them. And finally, you need to know that this gift is irrevocable. So if you're doing this donation to a donor-advised fund while you're alive, you can't get the money back. That money is with the donor-advised fund, and it will be used by them to give to whatever charity or to be held by them, but you can't take the money back. So if this is a strategy you want to use with your estate plan, there's two ways you can do this. The first way is you can try to do this yourself, but I'm sure you know as an attorney I'm going to recommend that's not what you want to do in this case. And the second thing you can do, the smarter way to work with this, is work with your attorney. When you're creating your estate plan, if there's certain charities or certain movements that you want to make sure you're giving money to, talk to your attorney about whether it makes sense to put a specific bequest in your will, or maybe a donor-advised fund is the best way for you to leave behind these charitable donations. If you're ready to get started, you can go to my website, andrewmayers.com. On the homepage is a red legal strategy session button. Click that and you're taken to my personal calendar. We'll set up a 15 or 20 minute legal strategy session to discuss what your goals are for your charitable donations and whether or not a donor-advised fund makes sense for you and your estate plan.